Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Mahoutsukai no Yome Season 2 Part 2 Episode 17. Been a while, huh? Yeah, I don't know why. Again, I know why. Mahoutsukai no Yome is releasing in the same exact time span close. On the weekends. And on the weekends, I have Frieren, I have Shield Hero, I have Shangri-La Frontier, Madoka Magica for Mondays. So I have my schedule full for the weekends, and this one kind of goes to the second plane, I guess you could say. But the season is slowly ending. We will be entering the inter-season break, also Christmas break. So I'm gonna have plenty of time, besides the Christmas spent with family, of course, to make up for it. Hopefully. I don't want to promise too much and then fail those promises, so I'm just gonna say that's the plan. Whether I will execute it properly or not, that remains to be seen. Regardless, episode 17. What happened in the previous one? In the previous one, there was the courage trial, right? The test of courage. Yeah, the test of courage. And the teams were nothing like I expected. I fully expected Chise to be paired up with Philomela, Isaac with Rian, Saint-Georges twins with each other, perhaps, and I know Zoe with Veronica or something like that. But no, the pairings were very interesting, and they actually served a decent purpose. Chise was paired with Veronica, and thanks to that, we learned a lot about Philomela's past, and we learned a lot about Veronica as a character, although she is still very much very mysterious to me. I still have no big idea what kind of a character she is exactly. Is she good? Is she bad? What's her deal? What's her shtick? But I'm skewing more towards Veronica just being a good person, simply with a very haughty, princessy, Ojo-sama demeanor, because she was raised in such an environment. So, right, nature versus nurture and all that. But yeah, we learned that Veronica did pick Philomela. We know that Philomela was one of the poison tasters or food tasters, and she wasn't good enough to avoid poison. And Veronica just took pity on her, kinda sorta, and picked her as her attendant instead of three other kids that Granny showed her to pick from. So yeah, we know their backstory a little bit more, and there was also talk about something like peering into someone's core, and are you ready to help Philomela? Do you want to help Philomela? That sort of kind of discouraging talk, but I don't think Chise will be easily discouraged. And that also gives me very ambiguous feelings about Veronica. Again, I'm still unsure whether she's a nice person or not. All of that remains to be seen, of course, during the course of the rest of the season. Next surprising pairing was who was it? Isaac with Philomela. Surprising, not surprising. Not surprising because they are both from families that are subservient to another family. Surgeons are subservient to Rickenbackers. Farars are subservient to Scrimgers. So they had some, common topics, I guess, common vibe. So they were able to talk a little bit about their situation. Isaac, in particular, said that, hey, if we don't vent every now and then, people are like us. If we don't vent every now and then, we're just gonna fucking explode one day. So it's good to have someone to vent to. It explains why Isaac is so friendly towards Philomela, right? Why he was the one to grab her and take her from the courtyard when Granny was talking, and not Chise, for example. Again, explains a lot. We also learned a little bit about Isaac's childhood, his friendship with Rian, all that jazz. Another couple was Rian and Violet. In this case, we learned about Violet and Jasmine's past, how Violet wanted to avoid being the head of the family, so he started dressing in feminine clothes, started avoiding that responsibility a little bit, and Jasmine picked it up, and she cut her hair, she started wearing manly clothes. Yeah, I guess there's an explanation for that. And Violet is wise. He advised Rian really well to, make up with Isaac, your friends and all. And there was also some other deeper talk about the nature of their little fight, something like that, but I can't quite recall. You'll have to forgive me. It's been a long time since the last episode. And yeah, at the end, Rian, of course, apologized to Isaac. Isaac said, hey, no hard feelings, sure. I stand by what I said. I'm not gonna say sorry for what I said, but, we're cool now. So that was good. Rian, did he apologize to Philomela? Did he talk with Philomela? I'm not sure. Again, I can't remember. I think he did. Yeah, I think he did, because Violet told him to do that. And then he, wanted a second opinion from Isaac, or the other way around. Yeah, first he asked Isaac, and then he got a second opinion from Violet, and then decided to talk to Philomela. Maybe. I think. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna be entirely honest with you. Then the party of watching Shark Avalanche got busted by the teachers, and it turned out that Jasmine is a ghost, a spooky, scary ghost who took the form of Jasmine and wanted to join them for the funsies. And we ended the episode with the image of the werewolf and memories of her cubs glitching in her head, which made me believe that perhaps the memory of the cubs was implanted in her head. And she never really had any children, but Granny needed something to control her with, and what's better to control her with than the prospect of her family being in danger, even if she did not have that family in the first place. So, in today's episode, perhaps the werewolves will attack, perhaps we will follow Marielle a little bit more, because she's also out and about dancing with the wolves. Perhaps we will deal with the mysterious sickness that is seemingly going around the school, that the what's-her-face nurse has to deal with. There's also the Carnamagos testament that kinda just was moved aside for the moment. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. To do that, though, you will of course need your subs to follow along with me right down here. I'm going to need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, cost nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 17 of Ancient Magus Bride Season 2. In 3, 2, 1, go! See? No, that's not Simeon. That's a random student. And the grabby hand. Yeah, so we will be dealing with the sickness. And that's how people started flocking the infirmary. Oh, I just noticed. Philomela is trapped in the cage with an owl. The owl being her granny's familiar. I love clapping in music. Ah. Yeah, that's a good opening. Oh, infirmary. Gather your rosebuds while ye may. Oh? What you doing, Chise? Okay, so she's charging stones with mana to, like, refill the student's magic. Gotcha. And Chise has essentially an infinite supply of magic because of the neighbors. And because she's a slay beggy. Yeah. Payment is necessary. Right, like on one hand, it protects you and it saved you many times. On the other, you're like this close to going apeshit. Yeah, I mean, maybe you have a talent for playing the lute. Maybe you have a talent for soccer. I don't know. You're not gonna know if you don't try. Yeah, you're joined at the hip, whether you like it or not. Yeah, Carnamagos Testament. Who is the attacker, though? Yeah, they can always be sapped for magic, after all, so it's better that they stay at the infirmary. It's better they stay here than collapse in the corridor. There is more. Yep. Oh, ooh, that's new. That's very new. Oh, where are we? That's a humanoid form made of roots. Yeah, thankfully Chise has the support of what his face. I mean, yeah, his arm certainly looks like it would burst. Same shade as Chise's dragon arm. Well, lighter, but similar color. And her battery also went out. That's a lot of Snokers and Maddens. Because a regular human body cannot fit all of the magic at once. So it wanted to sap all of the magic at once, but the human body just started falling apart because of the amount of it. Right? Like plugging a rechargeable battery straight into the wall socket, it's just gonna burst. Nearly. Maybe it decided that it was a mistake and started to rectify it by taking less power. Oh? Did the holder of the testament just achieve their goal by yeah, it just got enough energy. It got all the energy it needed. So it has no reason to sap energy from anybody else. Why did it not attack Chise earlier, though? I wonder. What made it so impatient? There were quite a few people. I mean, I kind of trying to tie it to Philomela because she's like Granny's guy in the school, essentially Granny's agent. Not fully, not entirely, but you know what I mean. She has ties to Granny. Hmm. Tomatoes on trees, huh? Because, yep, they got all the magic they needed, indeed. Sure, I guess. Think fast, chuckle nuts. Yeah, he's stuck in here, whether he likes it or not. Oh, the whole gang is here. Oh. Could you make tomatoes grow on trees? I guess they could maybe, like, climb trees. I don't know. You give, like, a climbing pole for a tomato, right, to climb. So maybe it's the same with the trees. Why would you? She's too busy dealing with all the magic she sapped at Granny's behest. Why are your hands black? Is it the dragon infection from Chise, or is it just gloves? And autumn came. Bit of a time skip. Christmas. Christmas. Even more of a time skip. And nothing's happening, huh? Interesting. Yeah, Philomela isn't with Veronica even. Did none of the faculty find it distressing that she is nowhere to be found? Twigs and files. Combat training? Yep, more combat training. With new friends. Elias and Alcyon. Yep, apparently. Yeah. Or no. But not anymore. Or something changed in Philomela. I mean, you were given the role of a caretaker, and what is a parent at the very, like, basic level than a caretaker, right? but they evolved with time. Right, we had a whole entire episode about it. Yeah, it's not a matter of adequacy, it's a matter of fact. Existential crisis, eh? Does she even have desires? Wait, a month and a half? We went through the entire fucking autumn and up until the Christmas, and it's only been a month and a half. Are we on a sped up yearly schedule or something? Oh, she's making runes. Yep, she's making a thorn rune. Specifically. Yeah, I mean, fair assumption. A thorn rune that she has in the opening. Yeah, someone's preparing for something. Let's not. You of all people, especially. Chise, sure. Rian, alright. You, random mook. No, don't. She kinda almost died because of it. So... Okay, maybe let's not be this antagonistic. Yeah, maybe don't go there. Should have did it by the throat with your dragon arm. Just Kevin being a little shit. She just needs satisfaction. Hopefully not. Oh, you don't know? Right, you were raised in some, like, remote Greek village, weren't you? I mean, that's just how Chise is. Were you in my head, Chise? Oh, that's the potpourri. And bloody bandages. We've seen the bloody bandages before, but why did she throw away the potpourri? Isn't it like she cannot take anything that was given to her? Or does it just like not work when it's given to her by her master? What happened to your hands? Is it the hands that were in the dream? Is it the dream hands I want? Whoa, that's a face. Yeah, I don't understand either. I don't understand either. Just when I thought that Veronica is a nice person, she pulls this face. Huh. Curious. I'm trying to piece something new together. But I think besides the usual theory that it's Philomela doing Granny's bidding and sucking people's power, I don't have anything else, honestly. Unless it's Veronica, who has the Carnamagos Testament and is using it on the behest of the Rickenbackers. I don't know. And spoiler territory, so let us not. Let us instead watch this episode again. Another rando taken in by the illness. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. Does it refer to gathering magic from students? Get the magic from them while you can? Ah. Yeah, Chise's boundless power is certainly useful in this situation. Think about all the things this body puts me through and what it does for me. I need the name of... Where is he? Where are you? Cartaphilus. Cartaphilus is what I was looking for, yeah. Right, there's Cartaphilus in her body, there is the dragon in her body. So sure, all the things this body puts me through, because it puts her through a lot of bad things, a lot of suffering, a lot of, fear for what she's capable of doing. But also what it does for me, it gives you super strength. For example, it's useful, right? It gives you the ability to, I don't know, protect yourself better. It gives you the ability to attack better. It gives you immediate assistance from Cartaphilus should you be in a dangerous situation of any sort. So yeah, it does a lot for you, but also, right, it gives you the power to defend yourself, but in defending yourself with the dragon powers, you might kill the attacker because the dragon deemed that to be the necessary amount of force, and you yourself don't have control over it, and you will have to live with the guilt of having killed someone, like the Not Centaur back in the first part of this season, right? So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I wonder if I have any other talents. Probably, but yeah, just as the nurse says, you have to explore those talents first. So long as the attacker is in a college, it'll be difficult to continue hiding it. I'll inform the students. Why have they suddenly started collapsing? Is it not obvious? I mean, oh, right. I guess why they all suddenly started collapsing, that is not obvious, is it? The wielder of the Cartaphilus Testament was content for the longest time with just Lucy and Simeon. Now suddenly, like 30 other students started to collapse as well. So whoever holds the testament needs to go fast about whatever it is they're planning to do for some reason. Either they got impatient or they are afraid. Something is going on. Something is going on. Then again, they cannot be all that impatient if nothing happened for those like 2 months that they've time skipped here, right? If they really were impatient, they would have sucked Chise's powers and then launched the magic nuke immediately instead of waiting for months. Unless something else is a limiting factor as well. Maybe time, maybe they need time to set it up and they had to get the magic first and then they are entering the 3 months long ritual to use the magic they sucked. Give me magic. Rootsy figure. Nothing comes to mind, no like magical or mythical creature. Don't lock your eyes with that thing. Yeah, right, this is how this body is useful. Cartaphilus can always give some advice to Chise. I thought that it's Chise's arm bursting with dragon power and just grabbing this guy by the neck and choking him out or something. But no, it is his arm that's bursting. And is that Elias or is it the headmistress? Is it Liza? They both kind of use thorns, right? Elias uses thorns, Liza has roses. And sucked away all the excess magic, I would assume, which is what caused that arm to swell. There is the darkened color. I wonder, is it because of just all the blood that got into this arm? Or is it reminiscent to Chise's dragon arm in some way? Oh, I guess Liza was far enough for those thorns to have been Elias's. Sapped a lot of Chise's power. And what do we have here? Snowcase and Marm. Yeah, Snowcase and Marms. I love off-brands in anime. Snowcase and Marms. Eat to your heart's content, Chise. Magic Book must have stolen Chise's magic power. Yeah, it was probably too inefficient. The attacker could have just taken all of her magic power and run off, but for some reason they didn't. So the book must have lost patience and made a bold move. Yeah, that certainly seems to be the case. The book is manipulating the user, or the user isn't able to manage it adequately. That would explain Philomela's bandages. Right? The arms, the hands she uses in the dream sequence. Actually, let me get to that dream. Also similarly darkened arm. Reminiscent of this guy who sucked her power after the fact. Reminiscent of Chise's dragon arm. And also Philomela's bloody bandages. We know that if you use your hand to suck up too much power, it starts bleeding. Philomela's arms bleeding, bloody bandages. Yeah, that checks out, I would say. And also her sorry mental state. She is doing what she has to do. She is doing what the granny orders her to do, but it does not agree with her own sensibilities. So she is torn the entire time. Do I do what I believe is right, or do I do what I was ordered to do? Lucy nearly died. Yeah, and the wielder of the testament decided that, oh shit, I overdid it. I need to limit myself. I'd rather grab 50 students and suck up a little bit of their power rather than just sucking 5 students completely dry. Which would again point towards Philomela. She cares. She doesn't want to harm other students. So she does what she needs to at the lowest possible cost. Right? Which kind of leads me to believe that it wouldn't be Veronica, because if it was Veronica, if Veronica was a villain in here, if Veronica was sucking everybody's power, she would be the kind of a villain that would just suck 5 students dry, discard their dead, lifeless bodies, and use that. She wouldn't worry about keeping the students alive. Philomela would. Granny wouldn't worry about that either. Why attack Chise then? Well, because Chise has an endless supply of magic, almost. So you can fulfill your goal very quickly, get it over with, and not hurt anybody in the long term. Everybody else also got freed from the Cartaphilus curse. Nobody else is connected. Oh, the magic is there. Whoever it was who sapped the magic, I'm assuming Philomela, the behest of the granny. The tanks are full. Okay, I can let all my fellow students go now. Phew, nobody else has to suffer anymore. Right? I think I'm making sense here. Can we actually read that? I'm not gonna try. Student and faculty health notice, 16th November. Yeah, this is too small for me to bother reading. And the secret is out in the open now. Harvesting some tomatoes from the trees. Are 3 tomatoes a thing? Tree tomato. I guess tamarillos. Yeah, tree tomato is tamarillo. But those aren't tamarillos. Those are tomatoes that grow on trees. Grow tomato on tree. Transforming a tomato into a tree, but this is more like a bonsai. So, no, probably not. Yeah. So, magic. What should I call it? Botany? Botany? Yeah, magic botany. Did they get all the magic they needed, or was it too much for them to handle and the connection burst? That's actually a good question. It could be that they overestimated their capacity or overestimated the connection, or maybe even Cartaphilus had a hand in bursting the connection and it just broke. the fuse just burst and they no longer can connect to anybody, and maybe even the book got burned or something. Plausible. But equally plausible is that they got all the magic they needed and they don't need anymore. Amazing face on Lucy here. Whole gang is here besides Rian and Philomela, of course. It's too bad Philomela isn't here with us. Philomela is lying in bed with bloody bandages and with... Those are gloves. I thought that her hands are also darkened, but now you can see the creases, the wrinkles. So those are gloves. Gloves, bandages. Nothing. Okay, we don't get to see her hands. Merry Christmas party, December 21st, the Great Hall. Eat, drink, and be merry, dress to impress. Hope you can join us. I mean, what else do the students have to do at this point? No, sir. Candy of some sort, probably. Or are those cat treats? Is he trying to bribe the dorm lady? Or are those candy that he brought to Philomela and he wants the cat to pass them over? Philomela isn't here either. And yeah, she's making her runes, her turisas. No bandages and no gloves. Interesting. Why? She had bandages and gloves because she was right after attacking the random nobody who then attacked Chise. But now she's all healed up, so she no longer needs bandages. But later we see Veronica visit her, and there are bandages in the trash, yes, but also on her bed. So it seems like she keeps using them for some reason. But at some point she started refusing to even touch my hand. Granny's influence, no doubt. I've never been given such a role. Yeah, you don't always, like, give yourself a role. Sometimes you just enter that role whether you like it or not. Right? You never... Or rather, you don't need to advertise yourself as being a mentor to someone, or a mentor in general. Who wants a mentor? You might just become someone's mentor just like that. They start listening to you and you start teaching them what you know. And it just happens. There's no reason to affix ourselves to those roles, yeah. I'm not adequate enough, construction to be much more. Again, not a matter of adequacy. There are people who are completely and entirely, wholly inadequate for being a parent, and they are parents. So, right, not a matter of adequacy. A matter of fact. It is a fact that for some time you were a parent to Philomela. And you were. That's it. There's no discussing it. There's no disputing my desire. Do you, as an artificial construct, have desire? That's a question. Yeah, I'm curious about Alcyon. I'm curious if perhaps Alcyon develops past her programming, so to speak. She develops some resemblance of a soul, of a conscience, of a mind of her own. Would be interesting to see. Hey, maybe we could get the, what's her face? The fairy queen, Titania. Maybe she would take her under her wing, right? Elias can put in a good word, Chise can put in a good word, and Titania might make her a full-on fairy. She should be able to. A month and a half? It really seems to be more than a month and a half. Chise making her runes. You're a scale mage, so it must be witchcraft. Yep. Haven't found the attacker. Creepy that no one's been attacked for the past month. Yeah, very much so. Why don't we go looking for the attacker? I mean, you are more than welcome to. Absolutely, but don't come crying when you die. I mean, you're gonna be unable to cry when you're dead, but you know what I mean. We don't know what they want or what kind of a person they are, so yeah, don't risk it. They don't know Lucy's details, sure, makes sense. I really was expecting the Chise's outburst to be a little bit more aggressive, honestly. Right now she's just grabbing him by the neck and, oh, you, no, don't do that. I really was expecting him to be just grabbed by the throat and lifted up. I really was expecting that. Alas. There are some things you shouldn't say. Yeah, wasn't Lucy. No need for an apology. Lucy can get the satisfaction herself. What's up with Lucy's family, right? Makes sense. Zoe would not know that. He was like Chise, isolated kinda from the magical society at large. So he doesn't know of all the interfamilial drama that sorcerers have. Yeah, what do you mean seen? Wait a moment. What do you mean seen? Yeah, bloody bandages. Not just in the trash bin. Trash bin is full of bandages and the potpourri. And there are also bandages on her bed. And fresh bandages on her arms. Which is interesting because there hasn't been any new attacks. And yet her arms are bandaged up. But her blood vessels couldn't have burst by sucking anybody's magic because no one has been attacked. Nothing like fully fits. I like it. I like it how there are so many clues that we are given, and yet nothing like fully merges. Right? Like you got the shape of the puzzle right, but the pattern doesn't quite fit. Cool. Vera is here with some food. She seems completely unfazed by the bloody bandages. I really don't get Veronica. Unfazed by bloody bandages, eternal smile on her face, bringing Philomela food. And then making this face. I mean, she's not even making a face here. That's the thing. It could all very well be just in Philomela's head. Veronica's face is perfectly neutral here, with a slight smile. But because of the shading, because of the style, it looks incredibly creepy. What's she thinking? I don't know. I don't know what she's thinking. Like, no joke, Veronica is one of the most mysterious and opaque characters in anime in recent memory. I've never had this much trouble deciphering a character. I might have been wrong about the character, right? The show might have made me believe that a given character is a good guy, but oh no, turns out they are a villain. Or the other way around. Sure, absolutely, yes. But I was always able to form an opinion, form an image of a person, an image of the character. Oh, they are a good guy, but they are not to be pissed, because if you piss them off, they get angry and hit you in the face. And they also like sobbing quietly at night, probably. Right? For example. And I might have been completely wrong, but I was able to create a profile of that character in my head. I cannot, for the love of me, profile Veronica. It's fascinating, honestly. It's fascinating just how mysterious and opaque she is. What's up with Philomela? We don't know. What's up with Veronica? We don't know. I'm scared, I don't understand, and this tells me that it might just be all in Philomela's head. I'm scared, I don't understand, my mind is scrambled by Granny's mind control, and I'm seeing enemies everywhere. And that's where Veronica's image comes from. Or maybe not. Maybe Veronica's image there was supposed to be creepy because she's a creepy little shit. I don't know. That's Cartaphilus, isn't it? Let's ask Cartaphilus about Philomela. Honestly, he would probably know. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. That was a nice episode. That was a really nice episode. Not much happened, ultimately. The problem was solved, seemingly, and that's it. Life is back to normal. Philomela is alienating herself a little bit more, but ultimately everything is back to how it used to be. Nobody's sick in the infirmary, nobody's powers are being sapped. Philomela is a reclusive self. And yet so much has changed at the same time. So much is unknown. And honestly, the fact that there haven't been any attacks, the fact that nobody used all that magic that they sapped, it really makes the situation so much more scary. Because we are left to stew in it. To stew in that uncertainty. When are they going to strike? They didn't strike immediately. So when? In this episode, no, they didn't. Maybe in the next one, will they? Won't they? Maybe the next episode will just be slice of life. Maybe we will be back to Elias's... No, we won't be back to Elias's village because the school is closed off, but... I know, maybe something else is going to happen. We don't know. Maybe they will strike only in the finale of this show. We don't know. It's cool. We know that something is really wrong with Philomela, but we don't know what. We don't know how much. We don't know why. We don't know anything about Veronica. So much mystery, so much unknown. And Veronica the most mysterious of them all. Good shit. Good episode, good show, good series. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it from me. I really don't have anything more to say. Really. I wish I had, but I don't. But maybe you guys, maybe you have something more to add. If so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. No spoilers, please, I beg of you. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description down below. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only my Ancient Magus Bride, but also Magia Record, Shy, Helk, Shield Hero, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I do sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magia Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube via memberships, super thanks, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB Without a Net, the Survivor, Zaire and Akumaster, Dr. Ward, Mahoutsukai, Fassel and Hans Peter. And you can join them without having to wrap your hands in bandages.